Some breaking news now. The Maritime Employers Association is responding to news it's been served a strike notice from the Longshoremen's Union. It represents workers at the Port of Montreal. Job action could start as soon as 7 a.m. on Monday. The CBC's Sarah Galashan is following developments for us. So, Sarah, how are they reacting?
Yeah, well, so they have put out a bit of a statement in responding and confirming this news that they have received this notice of job action, 72-hour notice coming from the Port of Montreal Longshoremen's Union. What the notice actually means is that so on Monday at 7 a.m., potentially what you end up seeing is a stoppage at 2 of the terminals at Vancouver's port, and that stoppage would go all the way through to Thursday morning at 7 a.m. So essentially, this is 72 hours notice of a 72-hour stoppage, a strike action on the part of the Longshoremen's Union. And what we're hearing from the employers, part of what they've said here is that, quote, any work stoppage at the Port of Montreal has major consequences. As far as those consequences go, from the union, they had a press conference this morning talking about the fact that the Longshoremen's Union has been without a contract since January 1st of this year. It was on Tuesday that their members rejected the latest offer and as well voted to increase pressure tactics. According to the union's website, mediation was to take place yesterday, but at that press conference today, they put a percentage on the port containers that would actually be affected by what we could see happen as of Monday, 7 a.m. Take a listen.
If not, 35% of the containers going to be probably touched for 3 days, and all the operation gonna restart on Thursday at 7 o'clock.
So, Sarah, I mean, this is one of the busiest ports in Canada, though the busiest port is Vancouver, and there's strike action still happening there with the grain terminal workers.
There is, all of the labor unrest involving the ports within Canada, Montreal. Now we're seeing this happen out west. That actually has Quebec's Chamber of Commerce expressing concern about Canada's reputation for reliability. If you consider what has happened over, not just right now, but really more than a year now, what we've been seeing happening. There was the labor dispute involving port workers in Vancouver. That was back in 2023 into 24. Just this Tuesday, as you referenced here, we saw pickets go up at 6 grain terminals in Vancouver. And to give you a sense of what that actually means here, if those terminals aren't working, what you're doing there is essentially operations. If there's no operations, it shuts down the supply chain for wheat in Western Canada. And of course, we're all remembering the very recent rail strike / lockout that for a short time shut down Canada's 2 major railways. And what you'll remember happened there, of course, is that the federal labor minister, the federal government intervened, ordering binding arbitration. And so to that, we go online and see the statement posted to social media by the federal labor minister today, who writes in part in that tweet, "The Port of Montreal is critical to our supply chains. I am following this situation very closely, as are so many others. I'll just note that Montreal Dockworkers last hit picket lines April 2021. That was for 5 days, and it followed the previous strike in the previous year that lasted for 12 days, Jacqueline."
Okay, Sarah, thanks so much. That's the CBC's Sarah Galashan in Vancouver.